Hey guys, what is up? Happy National Voter Registration Day. I am super excited for today. As I've been getting ready to vote, I really wanted to make sure that you guys are ready to vote and registered and you feel great about it. So today I'm going to be adding John Favreau into my live. He is an awesome guy. He is with Vote Save America. He also has a podcast called Pod Save America. He was former President Barack Obama's chief speechwriter. He's a really cool dude. I'm super excited to talk to him and ask him all the questions. Vote Save America and I have put together a list of questions that I have here that we are going to ask him. They are questions that I've had, and I hope that they are maybe questions that you guys have had. And he's just gonna update us on everything and give us all the information that we know. I'm super excited. If you guys haven't already, visit votesaveamerica.com. I'm actually gonna pin it in my comments right now. You guys should really check it out. This is my first time living, so bear with me. But votesaveamerica.com, I'm pinning it. Oh my god. There's so many comments. Okay, I think I pinned it. But if you check out votesaveamerica.com, it is amazing. They have so much information. I know that I've run there when I feel that I need some information, and they kind of have everything. You can actually register to vote there, so if you haven't already, I would check it out. But yeah, I'm going to figure out how to add John now. Let's see. This is my first time living. Vote Save America, where are you? Well, hey, go register, go vote when it's time. I don't see you guys. Hold on. Trying to find it. Bear with us, guys. We're waiting on John and Vote Save America. There we are. I requested them, so we'll see when they come through.
There we go.
Oh my goodness, my first time.
Knew we'd figure it out.
I knew we'd get it.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. I'm so excited to talk to you. This is such an honor.
I'm happy to be here. Happy to do this.
All right, so we have some questions for you, but before we get started, can you tell everyone more about your background and just Vote Save America and stuff like that?
Sure. So I met Barack Obama when I was 23, started working as his head speechwriter when he was a senator. I stuck with him through both presidential campaigns and the White House. And then after the 2016 election, I started a podcast with my friends called Pod Save America, where we talk about politics and all the crazy shit that Donald Trump does every week. And that grew into a media company with lots of podcasts. And eventually we launched Vote Save America, which is a votesaveamerica.com, which is a one-stop shop for everything you need to know about voting and volunteering in 2020.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so why is it important? Why is the election so important, and how would you explain it to someone who hasn't decided if they're going to vote yet?
So if you don't like what's happening in America right now, I honestly think that this election is your last chance to change it. Voting won't elect a savior. It won't solve all of our problems. Totally admit that. But voting will give us the chance to do something about climate change and systemic racism and healthcare and education. Voting will give us the chance to make sure that our politics isn't as fucked up as it is right now and that we're not all at each other's throats like we are right now. And more importantly, if you don't vote, a bunch of other people who you don't know will get to make hugely consequential decisions that will affect your life in serious ways. And those people will probably be older and whiter and richer. And they're going to show up no matter what, those people. And so you should too, because you deserve to have a say in your own future.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Okay, in 2016, voters between 18 and 29 had the lowest turnout, around 46.1%, while voters over 65 had the highest rates, over 70%. Why is this such a problem?
Yeah, I mean, so Americans 18 to 40 are by far the two biggest generations in the country, but we let the older, smaller generations make decisions about the country that we're going to have to live with a lot longer than them. So we actually have a lot of power, and if we actually use it by voting, starting with voting, we can completely transform politics. We can completely transform the country. So young people just have to actually use the power that they have.
Right. Completely. Is there anything in particular that young and first-time voters need to know, like registering, early voting, voting
But
state?
yeah, lots of stuff. So you should make sure you are registered to vote. It is National Voter Registration Day, so it's a good day to do that. You should make a plan to vote. There are a lot of options. You can vote by mail. You can vote in person early. You can vote in person on election day. But you got to plan. You got to do it early, and you can find all the information about how to vote, when to vote, and where to vote on votesaveamerica.com. You can verify your registration. You know what we're eventually going to show you what your ballot looks like. We're going to give you deadlines about like when to register in every single state. So all that information is on the website.
Which again I have pinned. So if you have not yet registered, go to my pin, click on the votesaveamerica.com link, and we can get you settled there. What are the major issues in this election, and how should you educate yourself about those issues / the candidates?
So huge issues in this campaign. Just a few: whether or not we get the pandemic under control so our lives can go back to normal, whether or not we stop burning up the planet so that our future isn't wildfires and floods and air we can't breathe. You know, if you're in California, you go outside, you could barely breathe the air the last week. Issues like whether or not we do something about police violence and save the lives of the next George Floyd or Breonna Taylor. Whether we let Republicans take away health insurance and protections for pre-existing condition from literally tens of millions of people, or whether we expand healthcare to cover more people, protect a woman's right to choose, protect the children of immigrants from deportation, forgive student loan debt, decriminalize marijuana, just a whole bunch of other issues. Either Donald Trump or Joe Biden will be the next president. There are only two candidates with a chance. Because Trump is the incumbent, a vote for any other candidate besides Biden is essentially a vote for Trump. And there have never been two candidates who've had such different positions on just about every single issue than Trump or Biden. And if you want to compare their positions on every major issue, we have a pretty easy to understand side by side on votesaveamerica.com.
Yeah, you were talking to me about that yesterday. It's actually really interesting.
It's pretty handy.
Can you explain voter suppression and how it works?
Yeah, so voter suppression is when politicians make it harder for you to vote because they are scared of what happen if you do. They're scared of what will happen if you vote. And so in a lot of states, Republican politicians have passed laws to purge people from the list of registered voters, shut down voting locations, throw away ballots if your signature on the ballot doesn't perfectly match your ID. It's horrible. But the purpose of voter suppression is to make you think it's not worth voting, so you'll stay home. Mm-hmm. Voter suppression can't work if you double check your registration, make a plan to vote, get all the info you need on Vote Save America. It can't work if you decide that you are determined to vote. Right. That's how you beat voter suppression. Show up.
So vote. Do it. How does the electoral college work? Is your vote more important in some places?
So the presidential election isn't a national popular vote. It's 50 individual state contests where the winner of each contest gets a certain number of electoral votes, and that gets determined by a state's population. You hit 270 electoral votes, you win the presidency. And because there's a group of states that usually go Democrat and a group of states that usually go Republican, that makes the remaining group of swing states extra important to the outcome of the presidential race. This year, the closest states are Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Florida, Arizona, and North Carolina. But people should know that voting isn't just about the presidency. Like, no matter where you live, you'll be able to vote for your members of Congress, maybe your governor, your state legislators, your local district attorney, a whole bunch of other offices that have a huge impact on people's lives. So your vote is important no matter where you live.
Perfect. Um, what else should we be paying attention to aside from the presidential race? Why do we need to win the Senate? Why is it important? I feel like you kind of
Yeah. I mean, the U.S. Senate is up for grabs this election. So, Republicans control it now. Democrats could easily flip the Senate. If Joe Biden wins, the only way he'll be able to get anything done, pass legislation, nominate Supreme Court justices, is with a Democratic Senate. If Trump wins, the only things that will be able to stop him from doing anything he wants are a Democratic Senate and a Democratic House. So voting for your senator and your House member are incredibly important. I also want to say, like, there's a lot of local offices that are important. We've talked a lot this year about criminal justice and police brutality and racism, and a lot of these decisions about who to charge with crimes, what police officers can do, they get made on a local level with district attorneys and sheriff's offices, and all of those races are on the ballot too. So don't sleep on local elections. They're super important.
Yeah. If I'm already voting, is there anything else I can do to affect the outcome of the election, like volunteering or?
Yeah, there's a lot. You can register voters. You can make phone calls, send texts, persuade all your family and friends and colleagues to vote. If you are young and healthy, you can volunteer to work at the polls on election day. Usually older people work at the polls, but that's very dangerous for them to do this year because of the pandemic. And so if we don't get enough volunteers to work at the polls, polling locations will close and people will have fewer opportunities to vote. So sign up to be a poll worker. You can do that on Vote Save America as well. We also have an Adopt a State program where you can sign up for volunteer opportunities in one of the 6 battleground states. And just to give you an idea, about 250,000 people have already signed up to volunteer and adopt one of those 6 battleground states. And if each of those people convinces just one other person to vote who didn't vote in 2016, that is more than the number of votes that Trump won by in 2016. So that's how much people volunteering can matter. This election could come down to just a few thousand votes in each state. So if you sign up, you're willing to volunteer, you can make all the difference in the election.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. This has been actually really helpful. I'm learning
Well, if you have any other questions, let us know on Vote Save America. We're happy to help, and we really appreciate you, Kendall, using your platform to help educate people about voting.
Yeah, of course, and thank you so much for coming on. What an honor. And yeah, I'm thank you.
Well, thank you, and have a great day. Take care.
You too.
All right, bye, Kendall.
Bye, guys.